So one could put a blech, and that's not a problem. So I would suggest it shouldn't be Mikeli al Keli, it should be Mikeli al Keli al Keli. So make sure, and I have to make sure that there's a way that it's wider, so no food but it should touch. I don't know if you could put silver foil on that; it will get stuck to it and ruin it. So make sure the blech is a little wider, so for sure you never touch with the food, or the pot never touches. It should be wider, like than the whole stove or something like that, or covered with something else around it, and have a blech and on top of it double silver foil. And then one could use it on Pesach like that because it's able to, but it cannot be kasher. If one has that all year round, then he could afford to buy another glass for Pesach and change every year. That keep that one for Pesach. That's fine. So that covers the stove tops. To kasher an oven, we mentioned already in the first year that the racks at the bottom where actual schmutz always falls down needs libun gomer, which needs to be burned out with a torch till netzutzas nitzen amenu. One could put it on top of a stove top and put on all the 4 burners, but the 4 burners will only make sure that they burn out that spot where it is. So you have to move it every 5 minutes or after 3-4 minutes, move it and keep track where all the spots were burned out. With the racks, it's not an easy job, but one could be done it that way. Now some say an eitzah, put it on the rack, put it on top of the gas range and cover it with the heavy silver foil. It will be concentrated like my 9x13 eitzah. It will be concentrated, it will go all over. It will bend it out of shape. I'll tell you a Ma'aser Shahoya. I followed what I heard from many other people, that the eitzah, how to kasher a stovetop, is to put it on all 4 burners and put up Shabbos dike blech on it. And that concentrates all of them and it spreads and it heats up everything. I did it once. I never saw a blech running. It became actual liquid, believe it or not. It happened to me. I put a blech and I put all the 4 burners on the highest, versteht sich, not like Shabbos, a tiny flame. It was on the highest. And the whole metal, the whole blech turned into liquid. It ran. I had an avoide gemura to be able to clean it off because it got soldered onto the gas range. It was avoide gemura to be able to take it off. It became running. So if you're going to concentrate the rack on the 4 burners, concentrate with the heat, such a heat, it will be misshaped and it's not so easy to do it. But one could be careful and watch how he does it. So the racks on the bottom needs to be fully kashered with libun gomer. However, the oven itself is not so pashut. I don't have the sefer with me, Madrich HaKasher Samatbech, from which has the Askam of Rabbi Malo Olav Shalom, and I don't remember if he says it for Pesach as well, or only for all year long, when you kasher by Friar people to make kasher the house, to want to rely that the rest of the oven only becomes aser through zeya, which is lav dafke, because things could spill, and a mashu of shmutz spills. It's not called then it's not called al yedei mayim. It's directly fire. It's a piece of chametz, a piece of lokshen, or something. But al kaponim there are achreinim who want to say that the rest of the oven you put on the highest degree, and for on broil or on the highest 500 for an hour or so, and that's how you kasher it. That you should ask it off. However, if you have a self-cleaning oven goes over 1,000 degrees, that burns everything away. The chametz becomes dust, schmutz becomes dust. It burns even be'ein away, and it does make everything. That does have a din of netzutzes nitzen emenu, and most achreidim, everybody accepts that a self-cleaning oven is considered kashering. Some people take a rely, and if they have a self-cleaning oven, they take off the grates from the stove top and put it into the oven, spread it out in a certain way that heat should be even all over, and they kasher it through the self-cleaning oven. But it has to be self-cleaning, it's a full cycle. It has to clock it till it becomes hot. It runs 3 hours, not just run it. There are some other cycles which are high, but it's not self-cleaning. So there's some continuous cleaning or something. It's not self-cleaning. Self-cleaning is really when it goes over 1,000 degrees and it really makes it very, very hot, and that's called kashering. However, by the doors, when you open the door, there's a gasket around it that doesn't become that hot. The whole front door, you could see the whole front door, the glass of the front door could remain schmutzig. Literally, after self-cleaning, the front door, the face, could remain schmutzig. You'll see inside, you could write your name on it. You go open it after it's cooled off, and it's ashes, literally ashes, white ashes. You could write a name on it. However, on the door, you won't be able to. You see that the heat doesn't really get to the door. So the eighth of that is that it has to be covered. The door from the inside should be covered with 2 layers of silver foil. The only thing is, every self-cleaning oven has a vent where the heat comes out. Some of them, the vent is from the back. Some of them, the vent is from that front door. If that vent is there, you can't cover it with silver foil. You have to have holes or whatever, then you have to figure it out. You'll have to call somebody, an expert at Rov or whatever, to figure that out. But the best eitzah is, if someone wants to use it, is you cover it from inside. So there's no connection between the door and the wall. There's a silver foil in between, a whole silver foil, 2. And there's no connection between the foot, and even when there's zay over there, nothing goes in. It's fully lined to the outside with silver foil, and there's no connection between the door and the inside is kosher. For those who can't do that, this today you could buy. They have this for many years already in the kosher, in the Fruma hardware stores. It's an insert box. It's basically it's a box. It looks like the old bread boxes, whoever remembers that. It's a metal box with a metal door. That's it. It's a square box, and you put it into the oven. You take out the racks, you put it into the oven. But it's closed. So there's no zayah, there's no connection between the oven and that. You put a silver foil underneath that box. So now you have keli. You make sure the oven is clean. There's no physical chametz there. You wash it out with easy off or something. And then you use that. But make sure when you open that insert, don't open it inside the oven. The whole heat will just make a whole chibur now to the oven, which will be another shaila, which I'm not getting into it right now. So before you open it, before you put anything into that box, pull it out, have a silver foil under the door, which the door now is the floor when you open the door, and pull it out there. It's totally outside. You have a silver foil over there. And then open it. The heat that comes out escapes in the open, not in the oven. So there's no connection between the oven and the food. And the food is always a double seal. It's not a double seal. At the bottom, put a silver foil, so it's double. And now out there's no connection. So that's the story with the oven. Coming back to the tabletops and the counters, a lot of people today use an iron. An iron instead of a stone. It could be used. An iron is electric fire, but it's mamish fire. But you have to be very careful. First of all, you can't pour water on the top. If you pour water on the top, Rahman al-Islam, you can be electrocuted. It's electricity there. So one has to be careful to hold it, first of all, with a lot of shmatas and gloves, and then hold it very close and only pour the water on the lower part, at the edge of the bottom, where you can hear the sizzling over there and go around. Now, a lot of people, what they do is they pour hot water on the sink, on the counter, and then they take a iron and they go around. They iron the whole thing as if they iron a shirt. I'm not so sure how that works. First of all, you said the Alter Rebbe says not to make a klisheni and then put a stone in there. Make sure you do iru klisheni. So the Alter Rebbe clearly says don't do that. But one could say when it's a hardship, the Alter Rebbe says b'diavad it's okay, even if it was a klisheni. But in this case, my shaila is that you pour water, the water will become cool. It's certainly not going to be yatzaledis. It doesn't hold the yatzaledis the whole time. And now you go through with an iron, there's not much water there. Just you hold it down. There's not much water. You need the water to boil out. This is pressing down on the table. It doesn't allow water underneath. It's just heat, and it's not libun kal. Libun kal has to be fire that makes the other side hot enough that the other side becomes yatzaledis. An iron won't do that on a thick table. So so you have to be very practical. And the way I did it is I did take a glove and I hold it and I poured water on the tip, but only the bottom part, and only with the tea kettle, which has a very narrow spout, so it's not a spritz all over, and I pour it just on that spot. But you have to be very careful. It's electricity. One shouldn't be electrocuted. Also, talking about coming back to the gas range, if one has this electric range, which has the coils, the old coils that they become red hot, or somebody goes to a hotel sometimes, whatever, all they have is these types of coils, so that the pot goes on the coil itself. The coil itself you can't take. There's no other grade that you can take off. This coil has the electricity in it, and it goes through inside. Now, those who become red hot is not a problem. You just put it on, make it red hot, and that's the kashering. If one would ask a shaila, but didn't we say hasik p'nim? The fire has to go in from the same side where the food goes in. And here the fire is from the inside the element, not from the outside. The answer is most achreinim say, since the Rambam said, most achreinim, I saw it in achreinim. So the Rambam says that on Shabbos, if somebody heats up a piece of metal in fire till it becomes a gachelas, two Rambams, one says that it's chayav and bishul, one Rambam says that it's chayav and maviv. You literally lit the metal. Same way you light a piece of paper on Shabbos, you're chayav. You light a piece of wood, you're chayav. You light metal. What does it mean, light metal? Metal doesn't start burning. It starts glowing. It becomes red hot. That's called mavir. Oy bazoi kumtois, when you made something red hot, it's not called libun, through fire. It's fire itself. It's not shaykh to say that the fire is from the inside, fire is from the outside. This piece of metal now could become a mateches and ever melubin to kasher something else. This could boil up water and it's going to be considered a kedushin. He is fire. So when you have anything which turns red hot, mamish red hot, then I don't care hasik pnim or hasik chutz. That we don't care about that anymore, because then it's mamish fire itself. It's from inside, it's from outside, it's all over. So if somebody has these electric ranges, which the element itself, what you put the pot on, becomes red hot, of course you put it on. So of course on Pesach there's no nice and tam of gam. Remember, so the rest of the range is not kosher. You cover that with silver foil. That shouldn't touch any food. You covered the two layers, and if anything fell down with the ebot, it's kosher. And the coil itself becomes kosher through that it turns red, because it turns red hot. We didn't cover yet how to kasher a microwave, which pashtas, according to a lot of achreinim, you can't kasher a microwave. It's not simple. We didn't talk about kashering a dishwasher, which is not simple. We don't kasher that usually. So, but the most practical things that we do kasher for Pesach, we did cover. Belina, that I'll try to have another shir. There's still a lot of pratim which we didn't cover, which could still talk about it. And Yetz Hashem, the Eibishter wird helfen, that the Iker soll sein, the Kashen soll sein, on Machshava Dibur Mainsa. The same way we see how many pratim it goes into the Kashen, the Gashmi is the Kelim. We should kasher our own Kelim. We have the right Kelim, the right Achana. And we should be zeichet to v'neichel sham in azvachem, in apsachem, soll schon sein, nicht nur benissen nigalu, weil dem Jahr soll man schon sagen, der benissen nicht asidim ligoel, aber man soll schon sagen, benissen nigalu, die Gula asidim vashlema. Atzloche Rabba.